All right, let's get going here. You see there's a bucket there beside the grade. Always find lots of buckets, and I never really kind of understood what the significance of all the buckets were. Apparently, in the early days, spikes, there's another piece of bucket there. Spikes used to come in wooden kegs, and then eventually they came in buckets. And so that would possibly explain the reason why you find buckets all over the place. Because obviously when they need to replace sections of rail, and as typically they do, they just huck the buckets aside. So coming up to another little culvert here. I think this one's pretty legible. You can see the white marker there. And so I think this one is 144.18. And so that would translate into 94.48. Okay, so last stretch here, you can see the grade sort of flattens out, and basically we have a straight run into Hurkett. You can see that there's some, I don't know if you can make it out on the camera there. My eye perspective is different than the camera. The camera is very wide angled, and there looks like something white up ahead, and that's a barricade up by Hurkett Dock Road, which is our terminus, which is our endpoint for our exploration. See a little snow on the grade here. We'll be a little wild and crazy and ride over the snow. Watch as I say that, I kill myself. I think it was more ice than snow. Okay. So we have a stop coming up just right up here. I think close to where you see those couple of trees right beside the grade. So again, boom, you see that the geography changes, and we get sort of more into a very sort of swampy sort of area. We're pulled in fairly close to Lake Superior here. You're going to be able to see the lake very clearly shortly. I can feel it right now because I can feel the wind, and there's a cool wind. So that wind must be coming off the lake, because that's not warm. Maybe that's why I didn't feel it going east. It was at my back. All right, so here's the little bridge. There's no name for this creek, which is surprising. But again, there's a whole bunch of, you saw that, there's a whole bunch of things. They're all little tributaries that flow into Lake Superior here. And so let's take a look at here. I always put some data in here. So this is 20 feet long, according to my CN profile map, 20 feet long. So you can see it's just a timber and pile trestle or bridge, and it's got the gravel pan deck. So what we'll do is we're going to jump down and go take a look at the sides of the structure. Okay, so we're down here on the south side of the grade. We can't get too close. It's kind of all sort of wet and sort of swampy here. The dog's okay, kind of rolling around, but not so much me. So here you can see the side profile of the structure. So just a simple timber and pile construction bridge or trestle, however you want to term it. It looks like it's been here a while. You can kind of see the age of some of the timbers. You can kind of see that they're sort of weathered, and it looks like it's been recoated numerous times with tar or creosote. If I get a little bit closer in here, you can see it looks like there's been some reinforcement work that's been done to you know, sort of that middle section there. Some of the piles in the middle don't look like they're in terribly great shape. We'll hop the grade over here. And we'll come over here. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do over here. Carefully work my way down. Again, it is sort of wet. You can see the conduit for the fiber. I don't see any piles from a previous trestle. So again, you can see some of that reinforcement work that's been done on some of the timbers and the piles in the center section. Here you can see some of the moss that's growing up there. So again, kind of gives you an idea of the age, how long it's been here. And so if we work our way across here to the southwest corner and get a little bit closer here, again, you can see the damage. So you can see here this support, this piece of wood that was used for support here, this plank, has just been completely shredded. I don't know what sort of happened there. And then, again, I don't really see any piles from a previous structure in here. So this this little bridge, this little trestle is interesting because we're just going to see one just up ahead. There's going to be almost an identical one. I think it's a little bit bigger, the next one. And we're going to see that right up there. So we're going to hop back on the bike and work our way over to that structure. All right, let's get rolling here. So I mentioned that I was hoping to see a Canadian Pacific train like we saw the other day, but I did notice when I was driving in here, there is a siding here at Hurkett, and I did notice that there was a looked like a section crew either working on the rails or working on the siding or something. I could see that there was a bunch of vehicles, and I just heard a screech of one of the vehicles kind of high railing on the line. Okay, so our next stop is just right up there, so I'm going to scooch ahead to that barricade. All right, so this set of barricades here marks our next point of interest. So we'll scoot around it. And so you can see another small bridge, small trestle. This one has a name. This creek has a name. This trestle is 28.5 feet long, according to my CN profile map. And so again, this is Morrow Creek, M-O-R-R-O-W. So again, basically the same structure, just timber and pile and gravel pan deck here. So what we'll do is we'll drop down and have a look. All right, so we're down here on the south side of the grade. You can see a little bit better perspective of the structure itself. So again, just the timber and pile bridge or trestle with the gravel pan deck. What's interesting here, even though the water is very high, you can actually see some of the piles from one of the previous structures. Again, I don't know when this was put in, but again, you can see kind of the water kind of bubbling over some of the piles that are here in the creek. So what we'll do is we'll work our way over here to the north side. And you can kind of see the structure in here. I don't know if I can get any closer without falling in the creek. So again, this is Morrow Creek. Now, what's interesting, I can actually see that one pile there. So I don't know if that's been purposely set at an angle. Gotta help the dog here. That one pile there, it's set at an angle. on purpose to kind of counter the flow of the water. But there seems like there's a lot of water, but it doesn't seem terribly high. Okay, so what we'll do, the dog just shook on me and like my back is all wet. We'll walk over the gravel pan here. We'll go over to this corner. So this would be the southwest corner. The water doesn't seem as high over here. You can kind of see the age of the structure. You can kind of see some of the timbers. They're looking kind of old. Looks like it's been sort of recoated in tar or creosote. I love the shingles here that's been put on. We've seen this on other structures before, basically to protect some of the timbers from the water getting in there. Again, I don't know when this one was replaced. You can see the shingles on the piles there too, so protecting kind of the cut end as it sits on top of the beam. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to jump back up on the grade and just continue working our way to our destination, which is literally right there. All right, so essentially this is the end of our hike. You can see the road, which is just in front of us here. This is what is known as Hurkett Dock Road, which runs down to what is known as Hurkett Cove. So you can see Lake Superior over there. There's still a bit of ice, thin ice that's on the lake. Again, bad winter, bad spring. And so just a little bit about the station here at Hurkett. So originally Hurkett was named Wolf, and that's named after the nearby Wolf River. So just a little ways ahead, there's a pretty decent sized river called the Wolf River. And so it's named after that. And so around 1919, the name was changed to Hurkett. And that's around the time that the station was established here. Now, I believe the Canadian Pacific already had a station here. And this is why a station was built on the Canadian National at the time, because it was 1919, so it was after nationalization. And basically there was a community that popped up here. There still is a community. So if you Google Hurkett, you'll basically be pulled into this area here. So there is like a community center, and you know, so there is you know, sort of a presence here. And again, Hurkett Cove down there, there was a bit of commercial fishing that was happening here out of Hurkett. So this is the reason for the establishment of the stop here. There was no siding or anything like that. I have to check and double check and see if there was a spur or anything like that here, but there was no siding, and it was just simply a flag stop. And the flag stop was kind of right here, right where this road was put in. Okay, so this basically brings us to the end of our kind of three-part exploration that we've done. The grade continues this way, eventually reaching Dorion, which was a pretty significant stop on the line, crosses a bunch of rivers in the meantime. We have done this section before, but we are going to be redoing this section at some point, maybe this fall. So we did it in the fall of 2020, but we will be redoing this section. So hopefully you've enjoyed today's exploration, and so we will be back just as soon as we can with yet more adventures.